My name is CENSORED Taylor. I'm with the editorial board of RefuseFascism.org, and we are here in front of the New York Times building to call out a brazen act of censorship because they rejected a paid ad placed by Cornel West, Noam Chomsky, Lily Wachowski, Arturo O'Farrill, and numerous other prominent artists, intellectuals, and figures in society, calling out the danger of the Trump-Pence fascist regime. On Wednesday, November 4th, we placed this ad. We had it lined up to run, and the New York Times came back to us with objections. And we tried to work with them. We made adjustments, we allowed for that, but they came back with greater and greater demands that would utterly vitiate the truthfulness and the moral clarity and call to action that is needed in this moment and that this pledge conveyed. We're in a dangerous time where Donald Trump has been sabotaging an election for months, and even as the ballots have come in and shown him to be the loser, he is challenging it in the courts and he has his mobs in the streets. He is not over. And this message needs to get out now, and this act of censorship from the New York Times must not stand. I want to read something that was written by Andy Z., who is a co-initiator of Refuse Fascism, a national spokesperson, and one of the co-authors of the pledge that was censored. He says the New York Times rejection of this ad is how fascism comes, by conciliation, self-censorship, and censorship. Armed fascist mobs are intimidating vote counters. Donald Trump declared he won an election on election night before the votes were in. He declared the election a fraud, and he is filing a lawsuit and many lawsuits to overturn the vote, going all the way to the Supreme Court, which is now packed with right-wingers loyal to him. The urgent message of the pledge to the people of the world needs to be heard, and the New York Times' refusal to print this paid ad, whose essential content they printed twice before in 2017, is shameful and collaborates with a regime still in power who can still do great damage to humanity. We are here to call out this brazen act of censorship, to call out the way this is collaboration with the fascist regime in power. And now we want to read this pledge to the people of the world. But first I want the cameras to just observe how many police and security are here to make sure that our peaceful words are well monitored. This is the era of Donald Trump. Okay, so I'm going to read this. This is the content of the ad that was censored. It is a pledge to the people of the world. In the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. The Trump-Pence regime must go. We will speak, we will stand, we will shout and march together every day. We pledge to stop a regime that imperils the people of the world and the earth itself. We will take to the streets day after day and call forth others. We demand Trump, Pence out now, and we will not stop until they're gone. We do not comply with a regime putting targets on the backs of black, brown, and native peoples, denying women control over their bodies, forcing LGBTQ people back into the closet. We do not accept a society ruled by hate and bigotry, ignorance and brutality, demeaning and cursing other peoples and countries and threatening them with destruction. There can be no more children torn from parents and locked in cages. No more fire and fury from the mouth of a demented bully with his finger on the nuclear trigger. No more mass COVID deaths from science-denying lunacy. No more law and order of official terror by bullets, batons, and tear gas. No longer can we live with howling mobs, resurrecting Jim Crow, fascist thugs attacking our protests, the right to vote stolen by defenders of the Confederacy. We will not worship the flag or accept a theocracy. We will not become collaborators on a march to a racist genocide. We will not hand the future to scorchers of the earth. 4 more years, 4 more months, and it could be too late to change the course of history as the Trump-Pence regime sabotages an election and drags humanity to the edge of extinction. Here and now, we pledge to unite in our millions, rising together in nonviolent resistance to stop a great horror. We pledge to stay in the streets, overcoming fear and uncertainty, until this American fascism is brought to a halt. And now we're going to say it together. Everybody's going to hold up the beautiful ad that was designed by Shepard Fairey, the artist, that the New York Times censored and rejected, and we are going to say, repeat after me, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. Trump Pence out now. Trump Pence out now.